welcome back to the channel. This is E&M Guns with Eric and Melinda.
So we just got back from watching
Civil War. No?
Yeah, Civil War.
Yeah.
And they did it was an okay film. It was basically from the journalist perspective. They didn't go into details too much about how how Washington or how Texas and California teamed up. Quite honestly, I was more curious about how that alliance happened than anything else in the whole film. But it was okay. I think I'd have waited for it to come out on Netflix or one of the streaming services before seeing the theaters. But, what do you think?
It was pretty good because, we haven't been to the movies for a long time, so it was all right.
Hey, on Friday we had a range day. You guys seen us shoot plenty of times, so I'll just give you a speeded up version of it. Went out, took the Glock 43X, which is my wife's. We took my Glock 22, which is in front of me. And we used, of course, the Taurus G3. Out of these, so I've watched a couple videos where it talked about the Glock being able to shoot 9 out of it. Bear Creek Arsenal has a 9mm threaded barrel. I'm kind of getting to the point where I want to do suppressors. I heard the turnaround times on them improved, so I kind of want to do suppressors now. So the threaded barrel was one that interested me. According to most people, you can just throw the barrel in and shoot. I got reading and seeing a couple other videos where they show the difference in that item right there, and of course the extractor. The extractor being a little different. And he brought up a point that it may not be very reliable. I think that's a valid point. Glock designed the 17, and it's I believe that's called the extractor. I can't remember what this part is called. I'm a terrible gun guy. What can I tell you? But that part right there is curved on the 17 to accommodate 9mm cartridge, and on the 40 and the next round I'm talking about, SIG 357, this is exactly the same on a Glock 31 as it is a Glock 22. So it piqued my curiosity into swapping out barrels and going a Glock 31 barrel or basically a 357 SIG. One of the benefits of doing that is it gives you basically a Glock 31 and a Glock 22. You get 2 guns for the price of 1. One of the things I did note that kind of got me interested in maybe going 9 with this is it still kept the diameter of the barrel of the 40 because the slide's cut for that. So obviously the barrel would be thicker on the 9 because it still keeps this diameter. So it would help with heat and probably help with a little bit of accuracy too, I would think. I don't know. But we're not going that route. Why is that, Mother? Why am I not changing this to a
I'm
9?
not sure.
What did I buy this weekend? Or what did I order?
He bought a new gun.
What is it? IWI Masada Tactical.
Masada, yes.
Masada. So the Masada Tactical comes with a threaded barrel, perfect for suppressors. And it also comes with suppressor height sights. And the front sight is fiber optic, which I really did kind of appreciate that. I paid $129 to get the Trigicon night sights on this one, which, by the way, I'll still be able to use if I go to 357. So we went to a little place here in Napa, Idaho, called Reflex Tactics. These guys are a good group of guys. They're retired police out of California, of all places, but retired police officers. So they're pretty knowledgeable, especially when it comes to the Glock 22. That was their service weapon. They both love their Glocks. I do enjoy this Glock, don't get me wrong. The reason I'm thinking about going strictly to 9 was it's about $100 and some dollars different, $112 difference from buying my 40s. And I looked at my past orders. I'm down to about 400 and some rounds of 40. So I've looked at my past orders, and there's about $100 and some difference between buying 9mm and buying 40. It's just going to be I'd like to shoot more, so I'd like to go to 9, and because I've already explained this is going to be reliable to switch to 9, or it may not be as reliable. So you can buy this trigger housing, it's like $18. And of course, for $26, you can buy this little nub here, the extractor, I think they call that. Guess that gets it to be compatible with 9 and should be pretty reliable. But if it's going to be a gun I'm going to carry, I don't want to risk that part of it. I would rather buy one that's designed for 9mm, especially if my life or my family's life depends on it. So this one will stay in the 40 caliber range for now and get upgraded later on. And I'll bring you those videos so you can kind of get an impression of what it's like. And I won't put a tutorial because I don't think I don't think YouTube allows that. So,
I'm not sure.
As creators. One thing I will say is, my wife's a big fan of this. So I have my personal Facebook account. I also have an E&M Guns and More. And I created a group. So you want gun content from everywhere, kind of just in one source. I put Guns and Gadgets. I put Langley Outdoors on there. Call in the War. GOA. NAGR, all those guys, anything gun related, I put on that groups, and you don't have to become a friend of E&M Guns. If you want to, just hit me up, I'll do it. But if you don't want to go through that hassle, you can just go to the groups, E&M Guns and More, and look it up on Facebook, and it's open to the public.
And hit the like button.
Oh yeah, my wife says, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, help that YouTube algorithm. I did a walk and talk last week, and I really kind of enjoyed that. I turned that into a drinking game every time. I cut it out in most of the videos, but could turn into a drinking game real quick. How many times is Eric going to say And that's just because I'm trying to think of my next thought. I have so many in my brain. Last thing we want to talk about is I'll edit that part out. So a little bit of tragic news here from Idaho. We lost an Ada County sheriff. I have a brother. I just said again. I have a brother that's in law enforcement in Eugene, Oregon. And when any of that kind of tragedy happens, it's like losing a loved one in the military. It hits home. This poor kid
was only 27.
Yeah, 27 years old. Luckily, he's not leaving behind but he's not leaving behind any children. Him and his wife hadn't started having kids yet, but he's leaving behind a widow. That's going to be tough for her. They're young. And I will say... He
started out in California.
Yeah, I looked up his videos, and his community in California is mourning his loss. Folks here in Idaho mourn his loss. And I'm going to put a link on the description page there for you guys want to contribute. Idaho Central Credit Union has set up a fund, where you can ABH in or you can Venmo in funds to help this fallen officer's family. This poor kid gave up his life to serve his. And if you look him up on the internet, the interviews they've done, this kid, he wanted to be a cop even in high school. So he knew he wanted to serve.
Well, he thought he was coming from a fast pace to a slower pace.
Which I know is a slower pace, but
Yes.
Unfortunately, some jerkwad who didn't want to go to jail for a misdemeanor warrant, 65-year-old jerkwad. I don't understand that senselessness, but, it is what it is, and now the family's suffering. So, guys, we appreciate you watching the channel.
Love ya.
As usual.
As usual. We love ya. And
Peace
peace
out.
out.